Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. We're looking at KNT Netball now. Sally Bywater, our correspondent in the association, is joining me to tell us about what was a reasonably one-sided round. How are you this week, Sally?
Very well, thank you.
Great to have you back on the Flow Friday Sports Show. And since it was such a one-sided round, why don't we go straight to the only game that wasn't looking too one-sided. That was Keith and Lucindale. It was in Lucindale, but Keith stormed into Kangaroo territory and came away with a one-goal win, 38-37.
Yeah, fantastic game here, we really like to see these close games. And yeah, obviously another fantastic game here involving Lucindale and Keith. So Keith started well. They had some great shooting, so they were 3 up at quarter time, but then Lucindale steadied in that second quarter with some great defensive pressure, even at half-time. So we knew by half-time this was going to be a great game. And then Keith's goalies were again able to capitalise in the third quarter to go up by 6. So yeah, Lucindale really coming back in that last quarter. They probably a few more minutes and they probably would have got them over the line. But yeah, up and down, ebbs and flows, but a great game of A-grade netball for this week.
All right, very good win by Keith in what looks like it was the match of the round by a pretty significant margin. There was one other match decided by single digits, and that was Mundalla getting a 9-goal win over Border District. So Mundalla, they just keep on rolling.
They do, obviously sitting nicely at the top of the ladder there, and yeah, another great win here last week. So again, they started well and had a 3-goal lead at quarter time, but Border District really came back in the second quarter to make it even, or an even quarter in that second quarter. And then, yeah, Mundalla, a low-scoring quarter for only 10-6 in the third. But, yeah, another good win by Mundalla, and they're really looking good this season.
So Mundalla and Keith getting the only single-digit wins of the round. They're also the only undefeated teams left in the comp. So it does go to show that even though they're undefeated and on the top of the ladder, sharing top spot, there are teams right on their heels, not far off the mark. So it'll be interesting to see going forward. Looking to our next game, let's go to Kybe Bolite. It was a good win for them, 62-36 over Padthaway, who are still searching for their first win.
They are, yes. So Kybe obviously getting a great win here, but Padthaway still had, they were quite consistent. There's lots of changes made by both teams because of this rolling subs came in this season. So it's going to get these opportunities on the court for all these girls and a lot of youth coming into Padthaway's side. So we're really looking forward to what they can bring this season, and really steadying win here for Kybe.
So Kybe moved to a 50-50 win-loss ratio on the season, 2 wins and 2 losses with that result. Narrowest also got a win, and they are also sitting at 2-2 on the table, but with a better percentage than Kybe. They beat Bordertown 52-34 in a home game last weekend.
It was. So, yeah, really great win here by Narrowest. They really came out of the blocks firing and held an 11-goal lead at quarter time, so that really set up their game for the rest of the match in that one. But, yeah, in sunny conditions, it's really warm out there for these girls, but Narrowest really stomping their ground, had a good lead at half-time, and Bordertown came back in the last quarter, so they're, finishing their games off not too badly. They just need to play a consistent 4 quarters, but a great win here by the Narrowest girls.
All right, and are you seeing much difference in the Narrowest girls from the team last year? Because we did make a lot last year of how they were able to dominate the lower teams, but couldn't quite beat the teams around them on the ladder. Is there anything to show that that's going to be different as we continue to get through this year, do you think?
They just seem to be really gelling well as a team, I think, and there's a lot of young kids in this team, so probably that 18 to 21 age group, so they've probably played lots of their junior netball together, so which will be consistent for them. So I think, yeah, great to see a bit of youth really, really brings strong through a couple of steady heads.
And it is such a mental game, just like any sport is. If you go in expecting to win against a team that you think that you're better than, usually you will. And the opposite is true if you're going in against the top-ranked team. So maybe it is a mindset thing for a lot of those younger players. Let's go to Penola, last game of the round. Now, they had a bump in the road to start the season. They got done by Mundalla in round 1. Since then, 20-goal win over Narrowest, 34-goal win over Padthaway, and then last weekend, a 24-goal win over Kingston in Kingston. So Penola, not that their season was ever off track after one loss, but their season well on track now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we probably thought we had that premiership hangover in round 1, but yeah, they've really stormed back since then and proven us wrong and playing some great netball. And yeah, they're only 1 up at quarter time against Kingston. So that was a great effort for Kingston to start the game well, shooting very well and consistently, but their last quarter was 19-4 Panola's way, so that was just a really strong last quarter, setting up a fantastic win by 24 goals.
All right, a good four-quarter effort from Panola to come away with a big margin in that one, and that wraps up round 4. Let's take a quick look at the ladder, and it's sort of separated into probably 3 pretty distinct tiers at the moment. At the top, Mundalla and Keith undefeated, and Panola at 3-1. Would it be fair to say they're the top 3 teams right now? I know they literally are the top 3 teams right now, but is that reflective of the play that we've seen so far this season?
I think so, and I think that's pretty much what we might see come round 16 as well. So I think they will be the top 3 teams this year, and starting that game the year off well, and I think, they'll be consistent all through.
So Mundalla, the surprise there. We knew Keith and Panola would be good, but Mundalla certainly a surprise packet. Then we've got Lucindale, Narrowest, Border Districts and Kaiby all at 2 wins and 2 losses, and much the same as last year. That was sort of the middle pack from last year as well that were threatening the top pack, but not quite on the same level.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right there, and this will be 4 teams vying for those 2 last positions, I think. So, again, we've spoken about it quite regularly, like you have to beat your teams above you to make finals. So I think, a couple of those will need to do that. Like, you can probably beat those teams lower than you, but you have to win the close ones. So
we've got our top 3, our middle 4, and then our bottom 3, Kingston at 1 and 3, Padthaway and Bordertown, still searching for their first win. So those will be the 3 teams that likely will be looking to get wins and cause some upsets and, ruin a few other teams' seasons. Yep,
absolutely. That's what your ideal thing is for if you're not winning those games. But I think, come later in the season when they've gelled a bit together and playing well as a team, we might see some of those games go their way.
And what's going on this weekend, Sally? We're having a split round. What exactly is the reasoning for this? We've got 2 games this weekend and then 3 next weekend instead of playing 5 and 5 as per usual.
Now, I really wish I could answer this. I can't get an answer from anyone, but it's obviously a full decision that they've decided to go to split round. So, we need to be only round 5 and having a split round and, 2 games this week and 3 next week. But obviously there must be some sore bodies that need to be mended.
Yes, well, there are 6 teams that will be enjoying the rest this weekend, but among them is not Padthaway and Bordertown. They're playing at Bordertown tomorrow, and both teams looking for their first win of the year, so this should be a good one.
I think this will be a great game. Obviously, both searching for their first win. They are playing at 10:30 in the morning on Saturday morning, so that's a nice early start for them, but I think we'll have a great game here, and let's hope they've got lots of goals on the board, beautiful weather and good team game by both of them.
10:30 start just to stretch the split round out by an extra couple of hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I could handle a 10:30 a.m. game these days. I don't know if I'd like my Saturday morning sleep-in taken away like that.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there. It'd be a bit different from 1:30 start normally. You'd probably get a few things done in the morning or watch your kids play in junior sport. But, I think this will be a bit of an eye-opener for them, and we'll see the best team will win.
I'm sure there'll be a few early birds that will be pretty happy with the early start time. Our other game tomorrow is Border Districts and Narrowest, so 2 from that middle pack that we just touched on. A good chance for one of these teams to really make a statement that they're keen to separate themselves from that middle pack and move into the top 4.
Yeah, this is obviously a must-win game for both of these sides, so they really want to get that on the board. Playing at Goroke, just over Victoria, this one, which is a home game for Border Districts, but I think it'll be a great game. And again, just like Bordertown and Padthaway, these will be very evenly matched teams, so the best team will win on the day. I'm probably going to slightly go for Border Districts in this game.
All right, so a short and sweet portion of round 5 taking place this weekend. We'll look at the rest of round 5 next week, even though that sentence doesn't quite make all the sense in the world, but such is the split round. We'll see how it all goes. Thanks very much, Sally. We'll chat to you next week. Enjoy the netball.
Great. Thank you very much.